Welcome to our tutorial about the Edit Polyline command. In our previous lesson, we learned how to edit a polyline using its grips and handles. Now we're going to take a look at another way to modify our polylines, and that's with the Edit Polyline command. Let's start by creating some geometry with the Line tool. Right-click and enter to close the tool. Let's select this line. Here I've got 4 unique segments, and there's a visible gap at bottom left. Let's measure the gap. Type in MEA and select Measure from the list of commands that pop up. What type of measurement? Distance. Select the first point, this endpoint, and this endpoint. It's about 1 unit. Now let's expand the tool flyout on the Modify panel. Here's the Edit Polyline command. The command line tells us that we've got 2 options. We can select a polyline, or we can select multiple. Let's right-click and scroll to multiple. Now let's window select our geometry and right-click to finish the selection. AutoCAD asks us, do we want to convert these entities to a polyline? Yes, we do. Let's press Enter. And now let's exit the tool to see what we've got. We've still got separate lines, even though they've been converted to a polyline, and we can verify that in the Properties panel. Let's activate the Edit Polyline tool again. Right-click, scroll to Multiple. Make a window selection. This time I'll right-click and select the Join option. AutoCAD asks me for the fuzz distance. You'll remember that that's the distance between the entities that we're trying to join. Now if I enter 0, the geometry isn't going to change at all. Only segments with coincident points will join if I enter a 0 fuzz distance. You'll remember that near the beginning of this tutorial, I measured that gap. It was just a little less than 1 unit. So right now what I'm going to do is enter a value of 1 in this box and then press Enter. And our polyline closes. Let's exit the tool now. Now we've got 1 single polyline. Let's create another polyline. Activate the command, and we'll select our points in model space. And right-click and enter to close the tool. Activate the Edit Polyline command now. We'll select our polyline, and let's select Close from this drop-down menu. And let's exit the tool. Activate the Edit Polyline command again. Select our polyline. Scroll to Open. The segment AutoCAD had placed to close the gap is now gone. Let's talk about some of the other options in this menu. Let's say Width. Now we enter a value, let's say 2 units, press Enter to register, and our polyline segments are now 2 units wide. Let's restore to 0. Let's take a look at the Fit option now. When we use Fit, AutoCAD replaces the corners with arcs. Now let's select Decurve. This restores our original polyline. Let's select the Spline option. This option gives us a more smooth, organic shape than lines or arcs allow. Okay, let's take a look at the Edit Vertex option now. Scroll down and select it from the list of options. There's now an X at the top left of the polyline. Click Next to move it to the next vertex. What I want to do is create a straight line between this point and this point. I'm going to use the Straighten option. Next, Next again to move the X to the top right corner. And we're ready to select Go. Okay, let's take a look at the Insert Vertex option. Move vertex, break, click Go to execute, press Escape to move up 1 level. The polyline is now broken at that bottom left vertex. Let's look at one more example of Fit versus Spline. Let's create a new polyline, activate the Polyline command, and we'll just create something a bit more complex than our previous polyline. Right-click and close. Let's activate the Edit Polyline tool. Select our polyline. Right-click and scroll to Fit. Escape to exit the tool. Let's select our polyline. As you see, AutoCAD has created a bunch of arcs and basically joined them together. Let's press Escape to exit the editing menu. Activate the Edit Polyline command again. Select our polyline, right-click and scroll to Decurve. Now let's select the spline option. Let's exit the tool. Let's select the polyline. As you can see, it now has a more organic shape. This concludes our tutorial about the Edit Polyline command.